Namaste and welcome to Yin Yoga. We will be ending with a guided 5-minute Yoga Nidra meditation into Shavasana. So grab several props, 2 blocks, a strap, a pillow, a blanket, and maybe additional pillows and blankets. You want to have as much things around that you can just reach for in case you need them to place your body in more comfortable positions. We're going to begin in a seated position of your choice, whether that's sitting on a prop or on the ground, any way that allows you to be upright in your spine as well as relaxed in your body. So take a moment to shift around, adjust anything so that you can invite a sense of symmetry in your body. So we've practiced a while back and it's been a while. So I'm going to bring it back, this guided Yoga Nidra. You might know that Yoga Nidra is often known as the yoga of sleep. It is to promote deep relaxation, and it's a way of meditating. And we'll have a 5 minutes guided Yoga Nidra at the end, as I mentioned. On Friday's Flow and Restore Yoga, we'll have a 10-minute guided Yoga Nidra, so longer. Here's a little bit more about Yoga Nidra from Yoga International. So Yoga Nidra, or yogic sleep, as it is commonly known, is an immensely powerful meditation technique and one of the easiest yoga practices to develop and maintain. While a practitioner rests comfortably in Shavasana, corpse pose, the systematic meditation takes you through the Pancha Maya Kosha, which is the 5 layers of self, leaving you with a sense of wholeness. So there are 5 benefits to developing a Yoga Nidra practice on your own, according to this article. It says, 1, anyone can do Yoga Nidra. All that your body needs to do is lie down on the floor. And even if you can't lie down on the floor, you can still do this practice seated. 2, you cannot practice Yoga Nidra incorrectly. As you lie down supported in Shavasana, all you have to do is follow the voice that is guiding you. It's likely that you will remember certain parts of the meditation and not others. Every time you come to the practice, you encounter a new experience, none of which is wrong. Falling asleep is okay too, as you will still receive benefits while the unconscious mind is absorbing the practice. 3, Yoga Nidra is easy to incorporate into your daily life. A Yoga Nidra practice can be as short as 5 minutes and as long as an hour. You choose the length. You may find that the easiest way to accommodate a Yoga Nidra practice is to make it part of your daily bedtime routine. I practiced it with my partner the other night and we both were snoring. And it was such a lovely way to wind down. Number 4, it's a simple way to reduce stress. Yoga Nidra promotes deep rest and relaxation. The stages of body scan and breath awareness alone can be practiced to calm the nervous system, leading to less stress and better health. And number 5, Yoga Nidra offers the opportunity to learn about yourself intimately. It offers a space to explore what you need in the moment, as well as an opportunity to work on releasing long-held emotions little by little each time. As with any part of the yoga practice, it takes showing up regularly, consistently, making it a habit so that over time you can experience what the benefits are for you uniquely. So let's begin by opening up the body in gentle ways, resting in stillness and yin and restorative postures, bridging the mind-body through grounding breath work, and then we'll ease into that guided Yoga Nidra meditation at the end. So as you're sitting here now, let's begin a check-in through the different koshas, the 3 outermost layers of self. So start with the food body or your physical body and begin to scan for whatever sensations you're experiencing. Notice how your body is feeling right now. Now going another layer inward to your prana maya kosha, which is your energy body, detect the sensations of your breath, just letting it be. Noticing what your energy is like at this moment. Now another layer or kosha inward is your mental and emotional sheath. So start to notice your mind, whether it's feeling busy or calm, what it's attending to, the content and energy of your thoughts. Gauging your mental and emotional state. There are two more subtle layers or koshas. It's your wisdom body, the light of the inner teacher, called Vishnanamaya kosha, and Atman, your bliss body, Anandamaya kosha, often known as your inner being, your soul, that pure consciousness. So now what's one thing that you can offer gratitude for as you begin your practice? From a heart space of appreciation, start to decide what you're going to focus your energy on, your thoughts, your attention, and invite into your experience. So setting your intention, your sankalpa. Now a way to open up to all possibilities of that, how that will come out, is to offer up our efforts. So choose someone, a community or a cause to dedicate today's practice to. And let's inhale fully into your lungs, into your belly. Releasing any stagnant air, open the mouth. Let's try that once more. Inhale a little bit deeper. Fill up the sides of your rib cage, all the way to the top of the chest, the pit of the belly. Release it through the mouth. Preparing to chant 3 ohms. Inhale. Closing your lips, slow your breath down into your nose and out through your nose. We're going to enter a pranayama practice called 3-part breathing, Durga Pranayama, which promotes really being mindful of how you're fully inhaling and fully exhaling. And it's a way to relax the nervous system and ground yourself. So if you're sitting cross-legged, take a moment to switch the leg that is in front or on top, just to balance out the stretch in your hips. We'll be focusing on hip openers and calf stretches today as well. And sit up tall, relaxed. Picture your torso like it's a jar, and at the very bottom of the jar is your pelvic floor. At the very top of the jar is the bottom of your skull. Then divide that jar into 3 cross sections. The first or lowest cross section is below your belly button all the way around. And the second or middle cross section is much of your rib cage all the way around. And the third or uppermost cross section is all the way through your neck, shoulders, and upper back. So place your hands on your lower back, lower belly, and focus the next inhalation into the lowest cross section. Hold your breath for a few seconds and notice how this feels. Then slowly empty your breath through your nose. Hold your breath out a few seconds and observe that. Then place your hands on the left and right walls of your rib cage and inhale into the mid cross section of your torso. As you hold your breath, relax your body, keep sitting tall. Then empty the breath slowly. Hold your breath again. Notice how that feels. Now place your hands on your chest and inhale into the uppermost cross section. As you hold your breath, keep relaxing your shoulders down and lifting to your crown. Then exhale slowly through the nose. Hold your breath out. Now relax your breathing, and you might place your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your lower belly. We're going to inhale 1/3 into the lowest cross section and pause. Then we'll inhale another third into the mid cross section and pause. Then we'll inhale the last third all the way to the top. Hold the breath in a few seconds. Then we'll exhale everything slowly and hold the breath out for a few seconds. And that's one cycle. Let's practice 3 cycles together and 2 cycles on your own of Durga Pranayama. To prepare, empty this breath. Hold it out. Into the lowest cross section, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the mid cross section, inhale. Pause. Into the uppermost, inhale. Hold your breath in. Slowly exhale to your nose. Hold your breath out. Second cycle, inhale the first third. Pause. Inhale second third. Pause. Inhale last third. Hold. Exhale everything. Hold. Last one together. Inhale first third. Pause. Inhale the second. Pause. Inhale the third. Hold it in. Exhale slowly and gently. Hold it out. Continue 2 more cycles on your own. Take your time to finish at your own pace, and when you do, breathe naturally and observe any effects of that pranayama. And I invite you to begin the practice of Ujjayi pranayama, which will take us into our warming up movements. And that's slow, steady inhales and exhales all through the nose, creating a soft whispering sound by gently narrowing the back of your throat and balancing the length of in-breaths with length of out-breaths. Take your time to feel the inhalation expand into all 3 parts of your torso jar, and without holding the breath, feel the breath empty through all 3 parts. Use this technique to invite a sense of inner and outer balance, resetting your nervous system, grounding the mind, anchoring it to that sound. And from here, let's lie down on our backs and we'll start moving there. So as you lie on your back, bend your knees together into your chest and just take a moment to rock in any direction. Gently massaging your back against the floor. You might rock sideways, forward and back. Staying aware of your breathing and regulating it. sort of shaking things up internally and promoting circulation. And then as you lie on your back, take hold of your bent knees and inhale, abduct or draw the thighs away from your midline. Then exhale, adduct, bring them towards your midline, circling your legs in different directions on your own to the pace of your slow breathing. Treat it like a mini vinyasa flow, a breath-led movement. And play with it. Go in one direction and switch it up. Going for about 5 or more deep breaths here. Notice notice the sensations in your hips, in the left hip, all around the hip socket, and all around the right hip socket. So remember that hip openers are not just splaying the thighs apart. Your hips are all around the pelvis, including the back, which is your glutes, your outer hips, your inner thighs. So let's prepare for some moving bridge poses. For lower back support, you might take a block and by the skinniest width of it, firm it between your knees and thighs, separating your feet as wide apart as your knees, which is about hip distance apart. Bring your arms down by your sides and walk your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. And as you root down through parallel feet and backs of your shoulders, let's prepare to lift the pelvis on an inhalation, and exhaling slowly will lower the spine 1 vertebra at a time 5 times. This is part of our warm-up. It wakes up our back muscles, stretches the fronts of the hips and thighs. So when you're ready, inhale, ground the shoulders and feet, lift the hips and stretch the fronts of your thighs forward as you hug the block. Lifting your chest, tilt your chin slightly back to open your throat. And on your exhalation, carefully lower your upper back, your middle back. Notice this takes a really slow paced breath. And then finally, your pelvis. Round 2, inhale, lifting your hips. Now, as you're pressing you're stretching your thighs forward, isometrically drag your heels back, which means don't visibly move your feet, but let it feel energetically like you're dragging the heels back. Exhale, lowering 1 vertebra at a time. Inhaling, lifting your hips slowly. Take the full span of the inhalation to find whatever the full height of your bridge pose is right now. This also helps to open up the fronts of the shoulders, the chest, the lungs. Expanding your capacity for your in-breaths. Take the last 2 cycles of moving bridge pose on your own. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And when you finish that 5th round, relax your pelvis on the ground. Pause for 3 slow breaths. Bring the arms really close to your side ribs, and let's prepare to lift and hold for your own count of 5 to 10 breaths in bridge pose. So make sure again that your feet are parallel to each other, ground them and the shoulders. And then lifting your hips up, walk your upper arms closer together beneath your back ribs. Keep your arms straight, not bending the elbows. If your hands meet, you might interlace the fingers. Press down also through the outsides of your upper arms. Imagine you're releasing the flesh of your glutes towards the backs of your knees as you isometrically drag your heels back towards you. Full inhalation, stretching the walls of your rib cage, expanding your lungs with prana. When you decide to come down, take your time with an exhalation, lowering one vertebra at a time. And once you've lowered, set the block aside and wrap your right leg over your left leg, sort of like eagle pose. Pick up your feet and drop your knees all the way to the left so that your right hip stacks on top of your left hip. Then extend your right arm behind you towards your right wall and look towards it, encouraging your right shoulder to sink closer to the ground. Placing your left hand on your right outer hip. As you inhale, imagine your spine stretching through both ends. As you exhale, gently nudge your right outer hip towards the front edge of your mat, creating traction for your lower back. Let's stay here about 9 more deep breaths in this supine spinal twist. Continue to invite your breath to expand into all 3 cross sections of your torso, and maybe even beyond that. Finishing 1 more cycle of breath. Gently unravel onto your back. Switch the cross of your legs and drop your knees completely to your right side. Stacking your left hip directly above your right hip. Splay your left arm behind you towards your left wall and look towards it, encouraging your left shoulder to sink closer to the ground, breath by breath. Place your right hand on your left outer hip. Inhale, slowly lengthen your spine. Exhale, gently nudge your left outer hip towards the front edge of your mat. Let's continue this for 9 more deep breaths. Listen in to that ocean wave sound. Tune into one more full breath. And once again, gently unravel onto your back, uncross your legs, and draw your bent knees again towards your chest, rocking in any direction, or just holding still and hugging the knees closer as you lengthen your tailbone on the floor. Choose your path of least resistance, whether you turn over to one side or rock yourself forward, to make your way onto hands and knees, tabletop pose, facing the front of your mat. You might also want to make sure that your 2 blocks are framing the front of your mat. As you spread your fingers wide on the ground, if you're looking to stretch your wrists or forearms, you might spin out your hands to whatever degree that's comfortable. Your fingertips might face the left and right edges of your mat. They might face the rear edge of your mat. Stack your shoulders above your wrists, but walk your knees a couple inches behind your hips. And let's prepare to flex and extend the spine in cat-cow pose. Empty this breath. For the full duration of your inhalation, glide your chest forward and roll your shoulders back and down, looking up. This is cow pose. For the full duration of your exhalation, contract your belly slowly, dropping your head gently to round your back into cat pose. Several more times. Inhale, reach your heart forward and peel your shoulders behind you and down. Exhale, lift your navel, tuck your tailbone, and drop your head. Go at least 5 more cycles of cat-cow, Betalasana in Sanskrit. Make sure you can still hear your breathing so that it's pacing you. Let's take it through one more cycle of breath. At the end of the exhalation, if your hands are spun out, point your index fingers forward so they're either parallel to each other or slightly turned out. Then tuck your toes with your feet hips distance apart or wider, and lift your hips as high as you can towards your rear wall, entering downward facing dog. Now spend a few breaths pedaling your feet slowly in place. Gently warming up the backs of your legs like your hamstrings and your calves. At the same time, you might swivel your hips left and right like you're dancing the twist. Stretching into the sides of your torso and your outer hips. You might also softly shake and nod your head several times, inviting your neck and your jaw to relax. Fluttering the lips might help the jaw untense. Imagine that your hands were pushing the mat forward and away from your feet, underground, so that your hips do the opposite. They rise and pull back. Try to create the longest length in your spine while relaxing your neck. Then spread your shoulder blades wide apart by keeping your hands still as you rotate your outer upper arms or triceps towards the ground. Know that you can bend your knees any amount to really stretch the spine so you're not rounding your back. Firm the front, tops of your thigh bones towards your rear wall, and hug your bottom front ribs towards your back. Sink your heels deeper and deeper towards the ground, even if they don't touch it. As you land your gaze on one spot, steadying your drishti, let's listen to 3 more breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring your feet together here in downward dog, and as you inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the right knee and rotate the thigh open at the hip, allowing a few breaths to either shake out the leg or rotate it at the hip socket in both directions, lubricating your right hip joint. Keep relaxing your neck. If your shoulders or hands are getting tired, you can place your left knee on the floor as you do this. Then inhale, stretch the right leg long behind you, turning the right hip to face the ground. Exhale, turn out the right thigh and slide the shin across your mat in front of your pelvis, coming to sit in single pigeon pose. As you straighten your left leg behind you, tuck the toes and frame your hips with your hands just for a moment so that you can lift your pelvis off the floor and scissor your right hip towards the rear of your mat while bringing the left hip towards the front until both of your frontal hip bones are equally facing forward. You might find it helpful if there's a gap between your right glute and the ground to fill that gap with any of your props that comfortably can, like a folded blanket. And if you find that your right hip is willing to turn out in a way that your right shin parallels the front edge of your mat, then stabilize your right knee by flexing your right foot the entire pose. Now relax the back toes, place your hands in front of you, and inhale, lift your chest, relax the shoulders down. Breath by breath, begin to bow forward. You could use a pillow to bear hug in front of you, maybe make an incline by placing a block underneath the furthest edge of that pillow. Maybe putting a block underneath your forehead so you can lie face down. I'm gonna watch the clock for 2.5 more minutes here as you continue to watch your breath in your mind's eye. Invite your whole body to relax as much as possible in this pose, making sure that you are supporting it with as many props as needed so that you don't have to contract any muscles unless you're flexing the right foot to stabilize the knee. And you don't have to hold yourself up. You can kind of just lean into everything. Continue to steady your mind on the whispering sound of your breathing. We have 30 seconds left here. Finish one more cycle of breath before you begin to press your hands into the ground and very slowly lift your head, lift your torso. Whatever props you can leave here, go ahead and leave them here, unless you need to move them to get out, and make your way back to downward facing dog. Once there, you might take a moment to pedal out your feet again or lift the right leg and move it around, encouraging blood flow into the right hip socket. Then step your feet together again in downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Staying here, bend the knee and rotate the thigh externally at the hip, turn it out. Allow a few breaths of moving your left leg, like circling it at the hip in both directions. Shaking it out if you like. Keep relaxing your neck and keep actively pressing the ground away with both hands. Inhale, straighten the left leg behind you. Then exhale, turn out the thigh as you cross the shin in front of you on the ground. Sitting down for single pigeon pose, straighten the right leg behind and tuck the toes just for a moment. Plant your hands alongside your hips and lift your pelvis off the floor so that you can scissor your left hip further back and bring your right hip forward until both of your frontal hip bones evenly face the front of your mat. Decide if it's helpful to place a prop under your left glute to maintain the balance of your hips. Then relax your right toes. If your left shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat, stabilize your left knee by flexing your left foot the whole posture. Set up any props in front of you that you might rest your torso on, like earlier. And then plant your hands in front of you. Inhale, lift your chest. Take your time, breath by breath, to hinge forward from your hips. Notice if anything needs to be different in the prop arrangement here to accommodate what this side of your hips may need. Might be different from the first side. And now I'm watching the clock for 2.5 minutes. Tune into your breath again. Invite you to notice if there's any prominent sensation sort of tugging at your sleeve, asking for your awareness. If so, place your attention there and observe how it may evolve. We have 30 seconds left here. Finish one more cycle of breath. Then slowly begin to plant your hands in the earth. Lift your torso. And once more, arrive at downward facing dog. For a few breaths, you might like to pedal your feet there again, or raise the left leg and give it some movement at the hip. Then let's come back down to hands and knees. And this time, as you stack your shoulders over your wrists, stack your hips above your knees. Lengthen your neck by gazing on the floor ahead of your thumbs with a slight engagement of your abdomen. Straighten your right leg on the floor behind you, tucking the toes on the ground, and actively press your right heel back as you lengthen your sternum, the middle of your chest forward. You might take a moment to rock forward and back, while still keeping your belly slightly lifted. Avoid compressing the lower back in any way. And feel into your rocking forward and back any sensations that arise in your right calf at the back of the leg. Pause in whatever range of that rocking in which you can feel suitable stretch in your right calf. And if you're not feeling any, you could pick up your left foot and place the top of it along your right Achilles tendon, nudging the right heel back as you stretch your chest forward. A few more breaths here. With your left knee back on the floor and your right leg still straight, cross your right foot to the left side of your left leg onto the ground or on your mat. Look behind your left shoulder towards your right foot. Observe any sensations happening around the right side of your lower back and the front of your right hip. Deep breaths. Keep your legs crossed and bend the right knee onto the floor. Lower your pelvis all the way back to sit either on the ground or on a folded blanket or pillow. Cow face pose. Take a strap if you might need it for assistance in the shoulders. As you raise your right arm, if you're holding a strap, dangle the long tail behind your back. Ground your two sitting bones and lift your spine tall. Then bring your right elbow behind your head and press both of your shoulders down. Hug in your bottom front ribs and reach the left hand behind you, catching the other end of the strap. Walk your hands as close together as you can. You might even clasp the hands and drop the strap if that's reachable. As you press your two hips down, breathe in and lift from the bottom of your spine all the way up to your crown. Keep the shoulders relaxing, and as you breathe out, begin to hinge forward from your hips, keeping your throat open. Take your time, breath by breath, to explore the range of your forward fold. In Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. About 5 more deep breaths here. As you press your pelvis downward, breathe in and start to lift your chest. Rising all the way up, release your arms and uncross your legs. Come to sit for a moment and pause, sitting tall in stick pose, Dandasana. Notice what you're feeling in your body and energy. Then gently make your way back to tabletop pose, where you can stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips above your knees. Here, keep your neck long by gazing at the ground ahead of your thumbs and straighten your left leg on the floor, tucking the toes on the ground. Take a moment to glide forward and back slowly to feel out and warm up your left calf. Keep a slight lift in your belly to support lengthening your lower back. Pay attention to the sensations in your left calf. Notice at what point of this rocking you might pause and breathe into the sensation, encouraging a stretch. If you're not feeling much, you can pick up your right foot and place it on your left Achilles tendon, nudging the heel back as you stretch your sternum forward. Let's take a few more deep breaths. With your right knee on the ground, keep your left leg straight. Cross your left foot to the right side of your right leg. Tucking the toes on the floor, look behind your right shoulder towards your left foot. Scan your awareness along the left side of your pelvis from the left lower back to the front of your left hip. Tuning into the sound of your breathing again. Keep your legs crossed and lower your left bent knee on the right side of your front foot, or wherever you can as you come to sit for cow face pose on the second side. So elevate your pelvis if it feels like you're off balance in the hips here, or if your back is rounding. You might grab a strap to hold in your left hand. Raise your left arm and dangle the long tail of the strap behind your back. Bend the elbow behind your head and draw both of your shoulders down. Reach the right hand behind you to catch the other end of the strap. Then walk your hands as close together as you can, maybe clasping the hands if they reach. Then press down through both of your hips evenly and inhale, lift up from the bottom of your spine to your crown. Relax the shoulders down and keep your throat open as you exhale to hinge little by little from the hips. Lengthening your spine and grounding your hips as you inhale. Pay attention to how your body is talking to you in this pose. What sensations are arising, shifting. Let's take another 5 breaths. Pressing down through both of your hips. Inhale, slowly rise up. Release your arms and uncross your legs. Again, to pause for a few breaths and observe in stick pose, Dandasana. So invite you now to take a block, maybe a second block you can put aside just in case. We're gonna come into either legs up the wall. If you have a wall space, that's just the height of your leg's length, or in mid-ground, you can take a block and place it under your lower back and supported shoulder stand, which is what I'm gonna do. So if you're going into legs up the wall pose, try to get your glutes right up against the wall And then you can put a block under your sacrum there as well by pressing your feet into the wall so that you can lift the pelvis off the floor. Slide the block, start with the lowest height, wide across the flat part of your lower back, which is your sacrum, making sure that it's comfortably supporting you as you lift the legs up. You might place your palms face down on your lower belly, which can feel grounding and soothing. And you might even breathe into your belly, which promotes digestion and relaxation. So if you'd like to join me in another calming breathing technique, we'll inhale into the belly through the nose for 5 counts, and we'll exhale through the nose for 7 counts. So empty this breath to prepare. Inhale into the belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try a couple more cycles on your own. In 5, exhale 7. Now begin to lower your body for Shavasana, using any props you might like to support your body in a most restful position. We're going to be starting with Yoga Nidra, which is a guided relaxation meditation, and then we'll stay resting in Shavasana for another 5 minutes for meditation. It's for silence. So it's going to be kind of integrated. If you'd like some lower back support, you can roll up a blanket or take your pillow and place it right across the backs of your knees like this. Take a moment to splay out your legs so that your feet are wider apart than hips distance, helping to relax the hips. And as you're lying down, you might use your thumbs to frame the left and right sides of your spine from mid-back, tracing down to the glutes to help release the lower back a bit. Then by rotating your palms to face up beside you, walk the shoulder blades down the back and rest your shoulders on the earth. Closing your eyes, you might place something to cover your eyes, which can also help to tune inward. Make any last little adjustments so that you can feel a sense of symmetry along the left and right hemispheres of your body. Scan your body as a whole and see if it's restful in this position. And we'll begin the practice of Yoga Nidra now. As you close your eyes, feel the points of contact between the surface below your body and your body itself. As you inhale slowly through your nose, imagine expanding prana, life force energy, throughout all of your body. And as you exhale slowly and gently through your nose, feel the weight of gravity and how your body is resting into the support below it. Again, inhaling, imagine filling up your whole body with loving life force energy. Exhaling gently and slowly through the nose, feel the weight of your body sinking towards the center of the earth. Inhaling, welcoming prana throughout your whole body. Exhaling to a deeper sense of groundedness, allowing your whole physical body to literally be held by Mother Earth. Now allow the breath to flow easily and naturally. Bring your awareness to your skull and allow your skull to just be heavy, doing no work to hold your head up. Relax your scalp. Invite all the muscles in your face to soften. Feel the weight of your eyelids as you relax the muscles around your eyes, your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. Let your tongue feel soft. Sense the natural curvature and space along your neck. With each natural exhalation, allow the muscles along your neck to unwind, to let go, to feel ease. Bring your awareness to your chest, detecting any subtle movement created by the breath. Feel your upper back resting on the surface below it. Sense the breath enter into the backs of your lungs too. Trickle your attention down to your belly, observing any sort of movement there from the breath. Feel the gentleness of your own presence. Then rest your awareness along your pelvis, the front, the back. And sense the muscles around your hips unwinding with ease. Bring loving attention down each leg as you sense your thighs relax, your bones become heavier. Calves softening, feet relaxing. Slowly guide your awareness up to your shoulders again and and surround your attention along your arms, the left and the right. Softening the muscles around the bones as your wrists lie heavy on the ground or the surface below. Relax your fingers, relax your palms. Allow your whole being to feel peace. Resting where you are. If you have time, feel free to stay longer in your resting pose. Otherwise, feel into your physical state and notice the effects of your practice. Gently begin to move your body with a simple stretch. As you keep your eyes closed, turn over slowly onto your right side, resting your head. And notice the quality of your breathing in its natural state. Sensing your energy body, prana, maya kosha. As you're ready, carefully lift your body upright to sit, preparing to close this practice. You might join your hands to meet at your heart. Allow a moment to assess your mental and emotional state. And then another moment to offer gratitude. What do you appreciate now? And whether out loud or in your mind, I invite you to rename your intention for this practice. Then remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice. And together, let's join our voices, chanting Om 3 times. Inhale deeply. Om. Bow in towards your heart center, honoring the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. So we'll be having a longer guided Yoga Nidra meditation on Friday's class this week. Hope you can join us for full-on Yoga Nidra. And at our upcoming December retreat near Temecula, we're going to be having a whole evening of Yoga Nidra. So lots to look forward to in relaxation.